Hi everyone, welcome back. Um, so I come back from a lovely trip where a vacation where I traveled to Bali and to Singapore. So happy about it. So since the channel is about money and how we grow our net worth, right? I want to delve into something that I felt like I couldn't find enough information for, especially if you're traveling from South Africa to Bali, for example. Singapore will touch maybe on another video, but for now, I just want to touch on Bali. Maybe you are out there, you probably also have Bali on your bucket list, and maybe this video can be helpful to you in terms of knowing financially how it will affect you, or and also of course the experiences that you can have while in Bali and how much they might cost you, right? So Bali is a country where, all right, firstly, before I go too far, so just so you know, in terms of, I think I spoke about the MSC cruise at some point. MSC cruise, like I said, I would encourage you to do it on your own. However, with Bali, I would encourage you to use a traveling agent. So I will reference the travel agent in my video. It's not a paid partnership in any way, and you can use any travel agent. I'm going to speak about the experience that I've had with this particular one, and I also will share the details of another travel agent that I've used. So far, I've only used two. So the reason I would use a travel agent for a Bali trip, of course, it's an international trip, and if you like me are not comfortable with traveling solo, like just alone, right? Without a group of people. So I traveled within a group of people. Yes, I was a solo traveler. However, I joined a group trip where it was many of us in this trip doing the same thing, right? So that's what I did. So hence I'm saying if you're still not comfortable traveling alone, especially internationally, I would definitely go with a travel agent. However, if you're comfortable traveling alone, perhaps you can use a travel agent, or you can also use other platforms. There are many platforms out there that curate your trip for you so that you know when I get to Bali, this is what I'm gonna do, this is the person I'm gonna contact, this is the traveling person. Because what I do notice with these trips, particularly when we got to Bali, there was someone there for us to transport us, and this was the same person that transported us around. Because you will be traveling around, especially if you're not a traveler that travels to stay in one spot. If you're a traveler that travels to experience different things within a country, you probably need someone to travel with you around. Now let's dive into the part about money. So, of course, you'll pay for the vacation according to the package that you receive, right? I used for this particular trip for Bali to Singapore, I used VR Travelcation. That was the travel agent that I used for this particular one. And if you want to use them or check them out, I'll link them below. You can find them on Instagram. But again, like I said, I have used another travel agent as well, which I mentioned on my Mozambique video. So for Mozambique, I used We the Locals. So you can also check them out and see what packages they have for Bali, if Bali is on your bucket list. Now, what you need to know about Bali. So as South Africans, we unfortunately or fortunately, I don't know, we do need a visa when we are going into Bali. But the nice thing about it is it's not a visa that you have to get prior to traveling. So this is something that you get as you enter Bali. So if you are going to Bali, just know that at entry, you will need to get a visa. The visa at the time that we travel cost around 600 plus, 620, 640 in rands. Of course, they charge it in their currency, which is rupiah. rupee or rupiah. I hope I'm mentioning it correctly. So you will pay around 640 at the time that I travel. Maybe it will go up, maybe it will go down. I don't know. But at the time that I traveled, it was around 600, 640. So at entry, you will get a visa that is applicable for 30 days. If you are traveling longer than 30 days, then I think you get a different kind of visa. I'm not sure if you get it at entry or you get it before traveling. But for this specific one, I will mention the visa that you use when you are traveling less than 30 days or less, basically. So it's around 600, 640, and it's a in entry, so one entry visa. So okay, I will mention Singapore a bit, right? So if you happen to travel to another country in between your Bali trip and you have to come back into Bali, as a South African, you will have to get the visa again because you're entering the country again. So it's a single entry visa. So that's how it works. So one entry valid for 30 days. However, if you happen to leave the country and want to come back, you will have to get the visa again. So you might have to spend twice if you happen to go back to Bali. But if you're staying in Bali for the duration of your trip, which is what we'll talk about now, then hunky dory, you stay for your trip, you leave. So you pay your visa once. Then one thing I worried about was how will I get cash that is from ZAR to their currency because they use a different currency. They use rupee. So, before I jump to that, right? Just know that when you're paying for your visa, you can use your normal debit or credit card. Just make sure that you have set up your account or your card to be used in a different country. You can use your debit or credit card, and they want a physical card. So they do have machines that have contactless. However, for the visa, you will need your actual card, even though you're doing contactless. So you'll need your debit or credit card to pay for that, or you can actually have cash if you've managed to get the Bali currency before going into Bali. Then hunky dory, you have that, you pay cash. Cool. Then one thing I worried about was how am I going to get their currency? And the nice thing is, if you're traveling to Bali, perhaps we won't be able to change into rupees prior to going there. Maybe you can, I don't know. However, their currency is weaker than the ZAR. So happy days. You get a lot of rupees for the rent. So it was a great experience in terms of holding million, 2.5 million to be exact, because their ATM at the airport could only had a maximum of 2.5 million of the rupees that you could withdraw. So listen, in Bali, you're a millionaire. In Bali, you're a millionaire basically in their currency, right? So fine, like I said, you can withdraw the money as you still at the airport. Obviously, you still haven't left the airport, you can withdraw. So one thing I did notice as I was trying to Google where you get their money and so forth, they say there are specific places that you should get money, because obviously if you go to a human to change your money, you might obviously be shortchanged or whatever. And also what I noticed is when we're traveling around Bali, we always went to a specific ATM. So I'm guessing if you have someone who is a local traveling with you, and you perhaps didn't want to withdraw or didn't draw enough at the airport, you can use your normal Visa, your normal debit or credit card to withdraw at an ATM that is safe, of course. Or you can use money changes. But again, be careful. If you're with the local, at least they will take you to the credible places to either change money or withdraw your cash. So you can definitely get money at the airport. You don't have to worry about the fact that you've got your normal Visa. I keep saying Visa. You've got your normal debit and credit card with that uses ZAR. Once you withdraw there, you can withdraw their money. So the exchange rate at the time that we left was, if you withdrew 2.5 million of the rupees, you basically got around 2005, 2900 basically. That's how much you got. So that's how much the rand is stronger compared to their currency. So you basically operate in millions, and everything that you buy there, whether it's a packet of chips, whether it's water, whatever it is thousands. So it will be 10,000, 7,000. That's how much weaker their currency is. So yes, you might have a lot of money in hand, but because their items are charged in thousands, so like 10K, 7K, whatever you buy, your money does quickly get finished, right? So at the ATM, I think we got like 100,000 notes of whatever money we had. So your money can get finished quickly, so you have to use it sparingly. So that's the first cost that you get, the visa, and obviously you get to withdraw your cash at their ATMs. So sorted. Then experiences that you can expect to pay for in Bali and how much they might be. I'll start off with the famous swings, right? So with the swings, you've got a choice. You've got a choice of hiring a dress or using your own dress. So the package that I'll speak about is hiring a dress plus vintage car ride. So it's at the same venue, and we got charged around, was it 1,002, 1,004 at that rate. So in terms of ZAR, and in their currency, it's a million plus basically. So it's around 1,002, 1,004 for both experiences, to hire a dress and also to get the vintage car ride experience. So these are the things that you can expect to pay for. At least for guys, if you're a guy, you chilled, you probably wouldn't hire a dress, of course. So you wouldn't have that extra charge of the dress. The nice thing about that place for the swings is they've got people taking pictures of you, so you'll get nice photos. And those people, they know how to set up the camera quick, and your photos are amazing. So that's one thing you don't have to worry about. So it's the swings. Then there's flower bath. Flower bath was also depending on if you're sharing with someone else, so you can share the cost. I think it costs about 1.6 if you're sharing, or 1.3 or 1.2 if you're not sharing with someone. So that's in ZAR, by the way. In their currency, it's at some point their currency started to confuse me, but if it's 1,000, it's basically a million plus in their currency. So that's another thing that you can expect to pay for. And then obviously, if you do get peckish or hungry there, they've got restaurants, and obviously restaurants can differ depending on what you want, or what you want to order, drinks and so forth. So those are the things you can expect. Then what else? There's a waterfall that you can go take nice pictures. That one I think was covered with the cost of our travel, so didn't worry about that one. Then what else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Then there was, let me think. There's vintage cars. There was the swings. Then there's the rice terrace where you can go. At the rice terrace, is basically going there where they actually harvest rice. They've got a lot of places that harvest rice. One thing I learned about people in Bali, rice is a staple food, so they can eat it for breakfast, lunch, and supper. So they've got a lot of places where they what harvest rice basically. So there, I think we didn't pay anything. I don't know what's the cost of that because it was included in the cost. But they've also got like a bicycle that you can ride. What is it called? I don't know what it's called, but it's one of the bikes at the top, or you can do like a swing at the top, basically hanging down. That one you'd have to pay an additional charge. I think it was also in the thousands. Sorry, I forgot the cost of that one because it was haphazard. We just did it. Bali has a lot of let me not say a lot. We experienced two of their beach clubs. It Fins was one of them, and the other one, sorry, I have it right here, Creta Beach as well. So beach club. So those are the two beach clubs we experienced. So with those ones as well, depending if you want to do VIP booking of a place to sit, you obviously pay extra. But what they do is, I think VIP works the same everywhere, right? I'm not a person who clubs a lot, but I'm guessing it works the same where you'll have a minimum spend that you must have while you're seated in VIP, and obviously you can share the cost if you're in a group. But obviously, if you're alone, you probably won't book a whole big seating area, and maybe you can just book like a sofa for yourself. I'm not sure, right? Hence, I'm saying traveling in a group sometimes has a plus of sharing costs that come with stuff like that. So we did VIP, I think, at Creta. We did VIP at Fins as well. You just have a minimum spend and you share the costs. So those are the other things that you can spend on. Mostly, obviously, breakfast is included with where you stay. However, just keep in mind that you'll also be spending for lunch and dinner at your own cost for the most part. So obviously then that depends on what you eat, what you like. You can order from the venue, of course, or the restaurant of where you're staying, the accommodation, or you can actually do, I think they've got some sort of Uber Eats. It's just that I wasn't too explorer like when it came to food. Wherever I was, I bought food, I ate. I didn't really go for, I think they have a KFC. I'm not sure. Some people did try it and they said it was a bit different, nice, or the same. I don't remember. They have a McDonald's. I don't remember anyone trying the McDonald's in Bali, but they do have a McDonald's. So if you want to still stick to those, you can more than anything stick to those, right? So what else? Yeah, so those are the costs that you'd expect to pay for in Bali. I'm trying to think of all the experiences that we had. But also traveling in a group doesn't limit you from doing other things because I know some ladies did a elephant experience, massages. There's a lot. And then the floating breakfast was included, so I wouldn't know the actual cost. There's also Nusa Penida beach. It's not where you can swim, but it's more of like an attraction site. And I think they said that was 1,500. I unfortunately didn't do that. So 1,500 in rands, obviously millions. Oh, the water sports, water experiences, flyboarding. We expected it to be around the 400s, 500s. However, when we got there, or at the time that we traveled, those experiences were in their 1,000 rands in rands, so about 1 million in their currency. I think the cheapest, I think the cheapest was the banana tube. So banana tube. So they've got banana tube. They've got jet skiing. They've got flyboarding. They've got parasailing. They've got sea walking. So sea walking and flyboarding, I think, were the most expensive ones, sitting in the 1,000 rand ranges. I think I did sea walking. I did flyboarding. Flyboarding was a must, and then I did parasailing. Parasailing as well. It depends. Are you sharing or are you doing it alone? So you'd expect to pay according to that. So I don't have that actual cost for those, but like I said, flyboarding and sea walking, I think, was in the 1,000 rand ranges. And then the other ones were around 800, 600, depending on what you wanted to do. So those are the things. I have to say this though. If you're gonna do sea walking, please don't be like me and wear bikini or whatever. Do put on shorts. You'll thank me. I won't go into too much detail, but when you do sea walking, put on shorts because those little fish in there, mm, mm, they're not so kind on the skin. So put on shorts if you do that. You can even put on a t-shirt if you want, or something that covers a lot more. So yeah, man, those are the costs that you could expect to have in Bali. It's a lovely experience. It's a lovely country. The weather was amazing. It's very hot, especially at the airport. Like as you get to the airport, I think we arrived around 4 p.m. I think we arrived around 4 p.m. But it was still so hot. So their weather is very hot. Obviously, depending on the seasons, because as what they did say is when it's raining season, you literally cannot do anything. That's how bad it is. The people there are very friendly, so expect friendly people. And then also at the waterfall, if I remember, at the waterfall, the people taking pictures of you there. So they're very, like I said, they're friendly people. They're very open to take pictures of you. But some places you gotta tip. So it is good to have their money in hand so that you can tip where needed, where possible. And if ever you wanna take a scooter somewhere, you also have to tip. So tipping is a big thing. So that's something you can expect. Let me see, the temples were included in our cost, so I wouldn't know the exact price for that. However, with the temple, you do have to dress more modestly for that, and they also will give you something to cover up for the, I think for ladies and guys, actually you get something to cover up. If for the ladies your shoulders are open, you will need something to cover your shoulders. So yeah, in terms of the experience, it was a lovely experience. Like I said, I hope you're taking notes of the costs that you might have to consider as you go to Bali. These are the costs that I'm sharing are as when I've traveled. I think things tend to go up pretty quickly in their on their side. Because for example, our travel agent was very surprised at the cost of like flyboarding and stuff like that, that it had gone up so quickly. Because I think obviously she would have traveled maybe late last year or something like that. So the prices tend to go up pretty quickly. So you might find that you travel to Bali soon, and for example, the visa has gone up to like 700 or whatever. So hence I'm saying these are prices as at when I traveled, and they might go up pretty quickly. So just plan for what I've said, but a little bit more than that. So yeah, man, it was a lovely experience overall, and traveling is amazing. So if you can, save for traveling and travel. I mean, sure, I think nothing replaces experiences, whether it's the things that we buy. We love material things. We all do. I do too. I still need my MacBook. We all do. However, experiences are, I mean, sure, like for example, this year, the first quarter of this year has been so busy. But for me, taking that small break, I mean, it was not even a full 2 weeks. It was close to 2 weeks that I traveled. And man, I wouldn't change that for anything, because I think it allowed me that break in between. It allowed me that, like, stepping away from the laptop, stepping away from the hustle and bustle, just to relax and not even worry about the next day that, yo, I've got this deadline, I've got this. All I was worried about is the experiences. So I would encourage traveling, more than anything. I encourage you to save for these experiences. And it doesn't have to be international. It can be anywhere, actually. It can be a short left. Just save for these experiences. And I'd like to remind you that, for example, myself, I mean, coming from totally indebted, way over indebted, to coming to a place where I can have these experiences, for me is something else. And I think for me it's part of growing your net worth, because if you're, I like to say if you're soul, but if you are in a happy place, and you've got these experiences in the bag, it also helps you show up better. I was joking with one of the ladies. I was like, oh my gosh, our vacation is coming to an end. Let's go back to work so that we can go on another vacation. So, man, it helps you show up better. And I think it gives you a reason. If you had no other reason to be at work and to show up and to just bring your authentic self. If you had no other reason, let travel be a reason. Let these experiences be a reason. And I hope this was helpful for someone who still has Bali on their bucket list. Just so you know the nuances, the costs that come with being in Bali. I hope it was helpful and I hope you can use it, because I know I struggle to find a lot of I struggled to find information around ZAR to their currency. And okay, if they're saying it's 1.2, what does that mean? I struggled to find that information. So I hope this was helpful. And I hope for your trip, for your vacation to Bali, you'll have a wonderful experience. And more than anything, enjoy every moment. You'll make that money up. You'll make that money up. Don't worry about it. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope it was helpful. If you can, share with the next person, share with your travel buddy, and maybe they too can get an experience in Bali. Thank you for watching. Bye.